Hey guys, this is Christ169K Mark coming to you with another upload video. I'm actually out and about in Clarksville. I'm in Greenwood Cemetery. I paid respect to my mother. Uh, and, I'm out and about. I know it's kind of weird to make a video in a cemetery, but, I make videos wherever I can. Um, and I upload them as I'm driving around doing other things. But I paid respect to my mom first. I'm sitting here just, thinking about stuff. And I go, I can make a video about this topic. We heard supposedly a screenshot from China, somebody from China. So some type of people leaked out some information about 5800X 3D, 10-year anniversary, 10th anniversary of a relaunch. Um, this is pretty big news because the 5600X 3D was also the same way, even though that was only a Micro Center exclusive. It was leaked out through a China type of situation. Now, how do I feel by it? Well, I feel this way. I already own 5800X3D. I've had it since 2022 when it launched. And I had it for 4 years and it runs great. Great processor for gaming. But my issue is this, though. We can only do so much. We can only do so much when it comes to, re-releases of, AM4, AM4 sockets. We have the 5500X 3D out. That's a slower 5600X 3D. We have 5700X 3D. That is a slower 5800X 3D. That maybe or still is being produced. But if it's not, it probably could be reactivated too as well. Only to make offset whatever cost it may cost for this 5800X 3D. Because my thing is this. When the 5800X 3D launched, it was $450. It's a premium price for a premium gaming processor. The AM4 platform has pretty much end of life declared multiple times, and it's still chugging down the road pretty well. Still chugging down the train rails pretty well. And with the whole GPU thing with the 30 series, didn't really do much against the AM4. But AM4, though, being so loved and so much fun, because the AM4, the Ryzen series has been the best thing that AMD has ever done so far, outside of making the 7000, and a 9000, 7 and 8000, 7 and 9000 series graphics cards that have better FSR than the 6000. Even though 6000 is so good, 6700 XT 12 gigs so good to use. 6800 is a lot better, but to get the better ray tracing, 7000 and 9000 are I've heard the best. But what does that mean though for us who still AM4? Me, I can't go any higher. I am literally at the end of the road. So I'm at the dead end. I can't go past anymore because I am literally at the end. And you guys out there who, for better or worse, may have AM4 or not still. I got a little glare, guys. I got glare. Sorry, I can't get rid of the glare. So you're seeing glare there. For better or worse, you can't do a whole lot against it. Because AM4 has been out since 2016. This is 10 years. Now, should they release the 3600X 3D? I don't know if they would. It's kind of late for that now. If they did, about 5-6 years ago, it probably would have been better. But right now, if they do, it's still no confirming concrete information from AMD. There's still a rumor. But if it is true and they mass produce this and they decide to go, hey, we're going to do this and we're going to reproduce this awesome AM4 powerhouse processor that's still getting over 130 to 150 frames. Even now, when you have the 9800X 3D, 7800X 3D, 9550X, whatever it's called, 3D, the 14th gen, the 13th, 12th gen, Intel and the 9600 AMDs, X3Ds are kicking the crap out of it. My 5800X 3D is still getting over 150 to 120 and 150 in between there, but it's still getting enough frames where it's still feasible and plausible to lay down money for it. Now, how much money you want to pay for this thing? $400? No. $400, you can go on to Newegg and get, or if you're very blessed, you have a Micro Center, and God bless you if you do have one of those around your town. You can go there and buy combo deals where you get a processor, RAM, and maybe and a motherboard, and maybe a power supply, say for $500. Yes, a little more money, but if you get like a processor like a AM5 processor, even a cheaper one, 2 sticks of DDR5, 16 gigs, 8 gig sticks, 8 gig sticks, 8 gigs times 2 is 16. They'll get you going. They'll keep you very good. And the 16 gigs would be good for you because it'll be faster than DDR4. Then yes, you won't have to need the 5800X 3D if it costs $400, because then it's not worth it anymore. But if you keep it around 200 to 330, around there, if they can find that good slot to throw that dart and go boom, we're gonna throw that $300 even, or like 250, 350 to 250, around something around that would be a decent price for a big uplift, especially if you have a 3600X, 5600X, or if you're still on a 2700X or whatever you're on, AM4. If you're still on those, this will be, especially if you're on 3600, 5600, will be a real good uplift in performance. Because you're talking about 8 cores and 16 threads. And that's a lot of cores and a lot of threads to do a lot of gaming on. Because you have to understand, 5800X is not designed for 3D marketing. And for games it is, but for a lot of 3D work outside of gaming, it's not designed for that. The 5800X 3D is the gaming processor. It's not really used. You can use it for applications. You can be playing games like Flight Simulator, games that require a good processor. The 5800X 3D will be the best you get on AM4. But if you want to do a lot of other stuff like 3D graphing, whatever, 5800X would do it quite well. Or 9500 or 5900X would do it too as well too. I think that's AM5. I think, I don't know for sure. Whatever. The point being is this, guys. The 5800X, if it does launch, if it is 100% truth and not just hope, you're going to see a lot of people, jumping for joy to get their hands on that thing. Now, if they can mass produce it and not only do like 10,000 in Micro Center, but do like maybe 100,000, or so they get close to 100,000. They can give. Every company can get like maybe 10,000 of them. Let's say 10,000 for Best Buy, 10,000 Micro Center. Walmart might get some. I know people like Amazon and Newegg will get theirs too as well. Then you have plenty of options to go pick one up. But if you're on AM4 already, this is a good thing to have. If you're not on AM4 and want to buy or build a new rig, this is not for you. You say, oh Christ, this is a top of the line processor. But yes, it's also end of life processor. It's also known as end of life processor. This processor is the last. There's nothing higher than 5800X on AM4. No, that I know of. that runs games real well, that does processing real well, that has 96 megabytes of 3D cache that runs really really well. And that can, that works with any graphics card. I got a 5600, a 5060 Ti 16 gig. It runs great with this processor. You could run like a 5090 probably on this processor, and it'll run pretty well. Now it may stretch it a little bit. It may stress test it a little more because it's a 5090. You'll probably do all the heavy lifting on games that require more GPU power. But for processing power, 5800X 3D is not a bad processor to have. But if you're on AM4, this is a must buy if it's reasonable price. If you're not on AM4, if you're brand new, go to AM5, go find some deals on Newegg, or buy a pre-built gaming rig if you want to, and go that way. But it's only going to be people who already on AM4. If you're on AM4 already, this is for you. If it's not, don't worry about it. Comment down below. How do you feel about this news? Are you excited or you don't care? Comment down below. Like, subscribe, bring notifications. And thank you for watching the video. Peace out, everybody.